Commission meeting. If any member of the audience wishes to speak to an item today, please fill out a speaker request form. You can find those on the table along the left wall. Fill it out with the agenda number of the item you wish to speak to and hand it to the staff seated on the left of the dais. This time we would also like to ask that if any member of the audience has a cell phone or other electronic device, that you either turn it off or turn the ringer to silent. If you need to take a call, please step out to the hallway so the meeting is not disrupted. Before we get to our regular agenda items, I'd like to just welcome back Kelly Arguello. He is now the Ward 5 representative, and welcome Haven Stuck to the commission as our 3 Mile representative. Items 1 and 2 today have been placed on the consent calendar and may be approved as a group. Action will be taken on all consent items in accordance with staff's recommendation by a single vote. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar by any planning commissioner, staff member, or audience member for separate consideration at this time. The findings of this planning commission are recommendations to the city council. The city council will make the final decision with the exception of the following items. Item 2, 20UR011. The Rapid City Planning Commission's action on this item is final unless any party appeals that decision to the Rapid City Council. All appeals must be submitted in writing to the Department of Community Development by close of business on the 7th full calendar day following action by the Planning Commission. Any items 1 or 2 that staff would like removed?
No, thank you.
Any items 1 or 2 that any planning commissioner would like removed? And any items 1 or 2 that any audience member would like removed for separate consideration? The chair would then entertain a motion to approve items 1 and 2 in accordance with staff's recommendation. All right, Karen made the motion to approve items 1 and 2, and Mike Collar seconded that motion. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Opposed? The motion carries. Item number 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item number 3 is a major amendment to an existing plan development for the Golden Corral restaurant that's located at 1180 North LaCrosse Street. This is directly west of the Walmart store along LaCrosse Street and directly east of LaCrosse Street. And Ariel, this shows that the property is currently zoned general commercial and was within a plan development. And the application is to allow single-serve beer and wine as a part of their lunch and evening meal. This is the zoning ordinance along with the central business district where we would typically see restaurants adding alcohol services as a part of what they're offering their patrons. The city's future land use plan shows this as a mixed-use commercial. It's in a revitalization corridor. North LaCrosse Street is a principal arterial street. East Anamosa Street is a minor arterial street, again to accommodate that commercial traffic that we see up and down LaCrosse Street. A site plan, the exterior of the building, there will be nothing changed. They do have some landscaping in place. There's no changes to any of the elevations of the design of the property. These are pictures that were provided by the applicant showing the signage. And this is the pole sign that we all see as you're going down LaCrosse Street. Shows that the signs have been posted as required. Looking across LaCrosse Street to the west. Looking to the south along LaCrosse Street. North along LaCrosse Street. And back at Walmart. Pictures that John took of the front of the building. And that about does it for our graphics. As I indicated, their request is just to add that single-serve beer or wine. They've indicated that it will be served by an employee that is at least 21 years of age. That will allow them to monitor how much a patron is consuming, and it will only be during the lunch and evening meals. This is only on non-consent because you've requested that we present to you all of these. Because it is in conjunction with the serving of food, it is not just a bar. It meets all the separation requirements to churches, parks, and schools. it meets the criteria. And so with that, we are recommending that it be approved with the stipulations outlined in the report. If you have any questions, otherwise I recommend that we get this one approved.
Thanks, Vicki. Any questions today? Eric Heikus?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move approval.
Eric made the motion to approve item number 3 with the staff recommendations. Is there a second to that motion? Vince seconded that motion. Haven, did you have a comment on that, or I just saw your come up on here? No worries. Any other comments on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4.
Item number 4 is 20 PD 024, a major amendment to a plan development overlay to allow a microbrewery and an on-sale liquor establishment for property located at 4905 5th Street. We previously saw a plan development overlay to construct a strip mall located on the property. This shows adjacent development. We don't have anything to the north, the east, the west. Walmart is to the south. Property zone general commercial district with a plan development overlay. We do have some residential to the west, but quite a distance away. And then the property on the north side of 5th Street is zoned low density residential district, but is currently void of any structural development. Future land use shows this as mixed use commercial, and the Walmart area is identified as a community activity center, which recommends a mix of uses, including residential and commercial that serves that residential. So this is in keeping with the comprehensive plan. And then 5th Street is identified as a principal arterial street. And here we have the site plan of the property. These two suites on this southeast or east end of the building are what is being proposed for the microbrewery. You can see here there is a drive-through, and the applicant is proposing to use that drive-through for off-sale selling so that people can take it home, not drink on site. So that would not be for on-sale purposes. Floor plan of the proposed suite. We have production in the back and then a seating area in the front. No food is proposed with the microbrewery, and this is the bar area with the drive-through on this side. Landscape plan, and then we have the signs posted on the property. There you can see they're doing some work on the building. This is looking along 5th Street to the north and west. And in the distance, you can see some of the existing residential. Looking directly across the street on 5th Street to where it's zoned low density residential. The existing residential that is north of there is up the hill a little bit. But as I said, this is a commercial corridor with promoting mixed use, and 5th Street provides quite the buffer from this property. And then looking south along 5th Street, where we've seen some office commercial, some rezonings to general commercial, and then a car wash that's being constructed in that area. And then closer to Stumer Road, we have a lot more restaurants and other uses which serve the area. And then this is looking to the south at the rise in elevation to the Walmart property. So, with that, staff is recommending that the major amendment be approved with the stipulations noted in the staff report, because this is in compliance with the adopted comprehensive plan promoting mix of uses and the expansion of a commercial activity center in the Fifth Street corridor. So, are there any questions for staff at this time?
Thanks, Fletcher. Karen?
Thank you. Fletcher, could you put up the screen, the aerial, not the aerial, but the diagram of the property with the, yeah, that, maybe that one would work. They're going to have a drive-through that goes through, and then they're going to have also a patio area on the north side, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
a sidewalk area or something?
True. Sorry, I didn't mention that. There is a sidewalk, not really cafe, but it would be a fenced-in sidewalk area, which would be accessed from the inside of the building, so you wouldn't be able to just walk into it from the street, and it is protected from the parking lot.
Okay, that was my question, is how the little outside place and the parking lot work together, so thank you.
And here we can see it.
Yeah.
So that would be the entrance there, and then that's the entrance to that seating area.
Gotcha. That clarifies it for me. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on this item? All right. Karen made the motion to approve item number 4 with the stipulations as noted, and Rachel seconded that motion. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. The motion carries with 1 no from Eric Ottenbacher. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is 20 UR 012, a conditional use permit to allow an on-sale liquor establishment in conjunction with an entertainment center. This is located at 937 East North Street in the former Kmart strip mall. It's been platted, so it's on the west side of that long building. In particular, the entertainment center is Decori's Entertainment Company. It includes a restaurant with seating, escape rooms, an archery tag area, and an axe throwing venue. We did get a revised letter of intent that demonstrates how they're going to enforce or their safety protocols for that axe throwing area, which is something that we've seen one other axe throwing venue, and we wanted to see an operations plan that showed that they were going to be limiting or monitoring how much people are drinking when they're throwing axes. In addition, it's proposed to be a fenced-in area with chain link so that you can't just wander through the area. But I'll get to that. Property zone general commercial district. And future land use identifies it as mixed-use commercial in a revitalization corridor along North Campbell Street and East North Street, and then also a community activity center which promotes a mix of uses. East North Street and Campbell Street are identified as principal arterial streets on the city's major street plan. And here we have the layout. So this the north side of the building, we have the restaurant area on the north. This is the tag area. And then we have the fenced-in axe throwing with 3 lanes, and then some escape rooms in the back. So a plethora of activities. Parking plan. This is, I believe, what is existing. We have other development in the area, a gas station to the north and a restaurant. They are currently doing a lot of renovation work. You'll notice that one of the stipulations of approval is that the next change in use would trigger that the landscaping be brought into compliance, and they have submitted in the past a master plan showing landscaping islands within the parking lot. So just to put the property owner, make them aware that the next change in use will probably be triggering bringing that landscaping into compliance for the at least this lot. Property owners, depiction of what the current changes that are being made, and then you can see the landscape islands proposed in the future. This is looking at the suite. The sign is posted in the window. We can see the renovations going on. This is looking at everything to the east, and then adjacent development that's in the on the lot itself, that's to the west of this suite. And then looking north from the parking lot towards East North Street and the gas station and casino, and then restaurant, and East North Street, everyone knows, is a developed commercial corridor. And then this is looking to the west of the property along that adjacent street, North Cherry Avenue, and south on North Cherry Avenue, back of the building, and there is some industrial on that south side. Staff is recommending approval of the conditional use permit with stipulations noted in the project report, including compliance with the applicant's operations plan for that axe throwing and the use of the business. So, are there any questions for staff at this time?
Thanks, Fletcher. Kelly?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a couple questions directed to, I guess, the owners, proprietors, more operational than anything. I'm just curious, will there be age restrictions on the axe throwing and access to those axe throwing areas? Because I'm not familiar with the axe throwing concept. Secondly, alcohol, how are they going to control, who has alcohol in certain areas? Is it just free range? Do they have wristbands? How do they card? And the third is, will there be any monitoring, closed circuit or surveillance within? I mean, it's a pretty good sized footprint, a lot of activity going on, axes, alcohol, kids. I mean, just operationally, how is this thing going to function?
So the applicant is in the audience, and I'll have him come up and answer those questions.
Once you're up at the microphone, if you could identify yourself just for our records.
Hi, my name is Adonis Saltis, owner of Decories Entertainment. Going back to your questions, the axe throwing pit inside Decories Entertainment will be the most monitored. Every second the business is operating place throughout the entire entertainment facility. We will use wristbands to monitor everybody who has had any kind of alcohol consumption. It will be served specifically in that area as an axe throwing pit, and there will be no age requirements. We will take it through visible observation and keep it a safe environment for families, kids, and all ages of people.
Kelly, if you'd like to follow up directly, you certainly can.
I appreciate the info. Are the escape rooms going to be off limits to alcohol as well?
Escape rooms will be off limits to alcohol. The only place we will be serving alcohol is specifically in the axe throwing pit.
Gotcha.
And the restaurant.
Thank you.
Maybe hang out for just a second. I have a few other people with questions. Karen?
Thank you. My question is, what is the archery tag area? What is an archery tag?
Yes, the archery tag is a new attraction that's just hit the market in the last recent years. It's sort of a archery paintball, so real archery bows, padded arrows, obstacle courses where people can pretty much play tag with safe archery.
Okay. And those, I assume, then are not limited to the age either?
No, those are all kid-friendly, even adult-friendly, so,
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Axe throwing and archery. It's just an interesting concept. So, thank you.
Vince?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just one question. How long have you been with this type of entertainment, the archery and the axe throwing?
Well, we, throughout the years, we've been in business for 3 years. From restaurants, we own restaurants. We just built one recently in Pine Ridge, on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, called Out of Bounds. On the entertainment side, we're in the haunted house attraction business. You guys might have seen it at the Rushmore Mall, Decory's Haunt. So we're very used to this kind of concept. It's right up our alley. We visited it. Many attractions across the country have friends in the attraction business, so we feel very confident with this kind of concept we're bringing to Rapid City.
Thank you. And Fletcher mentioned earlier, of course, that we have a similar establishment on our north side. So Fletcher, if I can ask Fletcher a question.
Go for it.
Do you know, or how has that business been running, and were there any incidents of abuse with the axe throwing at that incident?
We're not aware of any incidents.
Thank you.
Rachel?
This question, excuse me, is for the business owner. Was it Saltus or DeSaltis?
Oh, Saltus.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that. I'm glad you brought up the haunted house, because that's a fairly large endeavor every year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, how many people do you employ, or how many volunteers are involved in that endeavor?
Yeah, so we have roughly probably 30, 40 people we will employ for that period of time. We have a core of probably 6 to 7 people on main staff. But yes, it's a fairly large attraction. It's about 28,000 square feet up there, so we'll roughly employ probably around 30 people for that period of time of the month of September and October.
And have you had any sort of accidents or safety issues that have resulted from that?
No.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because we took advantage of that this last Halloween, myself and my 13-year-old daughter and her friend. And we thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was extremely impressed that something like that was here. So I'm excited to see that you guys are doing this now. I think it's really important for us to get more indoor entertainment here in Rapid City, especially during the winter. So thank you. That was my only question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rachel. Eric Ottenbacher?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just a little concerned when alcohol and sharp objects are kind of in close proximity with each other. So on the axe throwing, things can kind of get out of hand fairly quickly when alcohol is involved in some occasions. Do you plan on, how many people do you plan on having staff that particular area in case things start to kind of get out of hand? And also, how are you going to limit the alcohol? Is it, and I know you have wristband, but is it like number of drinks per hour? Is it they're limited to 2 drinks? Kind of give me an idea on that.
Yes. So yes, obviously we'll be using wristbands to understand anybody had any kind of alcohol consumption. We try to limit it between, whether it's a group, 2 drinks. Obviously, if people are coming strictly from the restaurant and they've drank and then they want to go to axe throwing, we will always have 2 people over there monitoring the area. It will be, like we said, fenced in. There will be strict protocol on how the axes, putting them up inside the cage, walking strictly away from the axe. There will be no reason at all that anybody will have an axe outside of the cage, so we will monitor that as tightly as possible.
Okay, thank you. No more questions, thank you.
All right. Excuse me. Any other comments, questions on this item? If not, I'd look for a motion. All right. Mike Gallagher made the motion to approve item number 5 with the staff stipulations. And Rachel seconded that motion. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye? Opposed? No. All right, item number 5 carried with 1 no from Eric Ottenbacher. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is 20 UR013, a conditional use permit to allow a microbrewery on property located at 635 Creek Drive. In particular, the microbrewery called Last Mile Brewing is looking to open a very small, I believe, 1,200 square feet in size production facility, strictly for distribution in the local market. So hopefully they'll do well and be able to get larger and then find a larger space in the future. But this is the start for them. Here you can see it's an industrial corridor along Creek Drive and Center Street. There is, and then it's a developed area. Here we have light industrial. Most of the properties in the area are light industrial or general commercial. And then it's a light industrial with East Highway 44 as an entrance corridor, and this is pretty far off of Highway 44. And major street plan, we see that Creek Drive is a minor arterial street leading up to East Highway 44, which is a principal arterial. Site plan, there are 3 buildings located on the property. The suite is located in this north building on the west side. It is less than a 20% increase in occupancy, so it is not going to trigger that the paving or landscaping be brought into compliance with the zoning ordinance. So in the staff report, it notes that the existing landscaping and some of the paving is legal non-conforming. Layout of the parking lot. Again, the parking is not triggered by the change in use, less than 20%. However, they are providing for what they need to have the parking in place. Let me double check that. So yeah, 30 parking spaces are required, and there are 30 including bays within the buildings. There are garage doors, service doors that have bays. So in combination, that parking is in compliance. And then this is showing grass areas on the property, which it would be legal non-conforming. And then on this north side, we have gravel, or west side, we have a gravel area, and the change in use is not requiring that the gravel be paved. Taking a look at the suite, so like I said, it's 1,200 square feet. It'll be production for local distribution. There will be an area for retail sales of glassware or t-shirts or hats, and then they will be able to do sampling, but they are not requesting an on-sale liquor establishment conditional use permit, so they won't be opening up a bar. It'll be for people coming to sample or buy t-shirts. That's what the area is intended for. So this is looking north on the property at the suite. This is looking to the north and west along, you can see the trucks on Center Street, directly to the west, west along Center Street, and that's that gravel access on the north side of the property. Directly to the north, and then East Highway 44 is up along here. This is looking at the intersection of Creek Drive and Center Street, and the development in the area. From the north side of the property, looking at the signage and the building, they are proposing building signage, wall signage on their suite, and then have the opportunity to add a sign to the pole sign, which is currently located on the property. Directly to the east on Creek Drive. And then these are the two buildings which are on the south side of the property, which include dense plus and other types of uses which are appropriate in the light industrial area. Looking south along Creek Drive, we did get one call about from a neighboring property owner. Their concern was once they were told that it was for production for local distribution, they didn't have any concern, but they did raise some concerns about how Creek Drive is constructed, but did say that they started to get snow removal services in the area, and that some of the worst bumps had been shaved down. And then looking into the property, that's the subject building and the signage, and then looking north towards along Creek Drive towards East Highway 44. So for a small microbrewery with no on sale, production for local distribution, this is a perfect area for it. The zoning's appropriate, the surrounding land uses, and staff is recommending approval with stipulations noted in the staff report. And the applicant is here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Fletcher. I don't see any questions right away. I have one. Does this allow off sale? So if you went in, would you
Yes.
be allowed to buy the a sealed container?
Yes.
Okay.
And that would be, I believe, part of their state microbrewery license.
Okay.
But if they wanted to sell other beers, they'd have to go through and get a city license, I believe.
Okay. Eric Hikas?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was pretty close to my question, too. We were recently changed by ordinance to allow the microbreweries in the light industrial. Is that correct? About 2 meetings ago?
No, the ordinance, that amendment which came forward was to allow an on-sale liquor establishment in conjunction with a microbrewery. We did talk to the applicant about that, and they indicated that that was not their intent.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Other questions or comments on item number 6? All right. Mike Gallagher made the motion to approve item 6 with the stipulations, and Vince seconded that motion. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Any discussion items or staff items today?
Just one. Staff would also like to welcome Kelly back and to welcome Haven to the Planning Commission. It's been a while since we've had a training session. I will be getting with some of the newer members to ensure that we are getting our Planning 101 training taken care of. So Haven, I'll definitely be including you in that discussion. It's also been a while since we've had the Attorney's Office present an ex parte facto communication presentation. We've got enough new members since our last one. We'll be looking at our upcoming agendas, and when we have one that's fairly short, we'll see if Wade can make that presentation for us. So we'll be working that in. If there's anything else that you folks feel that you do need some training on, let us know, and we'll either go one-on-one or make a presentation to you.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks, Vicki. Any items from the planning commission? All right, look for a motion to adjourn then. All right, Rachel made the motion, and Karen seconded that motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.